Take three. Action. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Take Three. What's going on, y'all? Look, we got the beautiful ladies in the building. We got Meetra down there. What's going on, Big Meech?
Hey, what it do? What it do?
You look nice. Got your hair up in the bun, the green nails, got the school glasses, the teacher schoolgirl glasses on. Okay, I see you. Where your pencil at? You supposed to do this. There you go.
Mhm.
Miss
Yeah.
Trinidad. All right, who
So
else we
freaky.
got? We got light skinned Lou in the building.
Ah,
Hey,
What's up, Lukey Lou? Hey, how are you?
hey, I'm good, you know.
Got the curls on deck. Let me see. I see. It look good on
They look
you.
all right, thank you.
and the
Yeah, yeah,
glow
for
and the
sure.
honey glow. Yes,
Thanks.
All
that's right.
right. All right, so y'all know we do these critiques. Mitra had a great idea a couple weeks ago for us to do Netflix documentary Michael Jackson, The Verdict. I know we've all seen the many Michael Jackson movies, but this time we're going to talk about the verdict of the child. I don't want to say the word. Um, Mishandling of a
Charges.
children.
Yes, there
Charges.
you
Yes,
go.
yes.
Yes, yes, yes. Children
Came out
charges.
June 3rd on Netflix. Of course, it's talking about it has the lawyers from the prosecution on in the defense, has some people from the jury, and a couple of the stand buyers that got to come in and listen to and watch the case. So, with that being said, Mitra, we're gonna let you start off what you thought about this documentary.
Well, before I get into the thoughts of the document, I just have a few questions. I just want to get to you all's thoughts on.
All right.
So y'all saw how it went into his space at the Never Never Land.
Mm-hmm.
So what did y'all think?
It gave eerie.
Say that
Okay.
one more time.
It
What
was
did y'all think
eerie.
of
It
the
was
space?
weird.
It was very creepy. Yeah. And maybe that was the light, how they made it, but it just looked creepy. And it's like you got to go up these stairs, and then there's this bedroom, and
And it just seemed cluttered too. Like, was it a
Yeah.
quarter or something?
had dolls and stuff.
The
And even
teddy
in the other
bears and
rooms,
shit.
yeah, it
Yeah.
was like all of this stuff that you buy from, like the Fabergé eggs and all that stuff that you get
Mm-hmm.
from like auctions and all type of stuff like that.
Mhm.
Even
Like,
the bed in that one little area was weird to me.
okay, okay, and then having
Yeah.
yeah, it
And then
was.
he had the Last Supper with him in the middle. I was like, okay, Michael, I know. Now wait a minute.
We feel like some of that shit is fake, but I don't know.
That's the part I was like, is
I
this
don't
the
know.
inside? Is this really what? Because the
I do.
outside.
Cause on the video, remember they showed him like an old video of him going, he was like, I want this. And they was like, this is 250,000. He was like, yeah, let me get two of those. He was just going around pointing the stuff he wanted. I think he just, he had the money. So he was like, it looked like he had a room just dedicated to like wax figures and dolls and just hoarding stuff
That's
because
what
he
it
could.
it just seems so because the outside I'd seen before, like the rides and stuff, which I always thought it was cool. And then to go inside it, I was like, and then that bed.
With the glitter, with
With the
the
glitter
glitter sheets.
comforter.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
was
that
so
was creepy.
mad that
That was mad creepy.
Yeah, I don't know what I thought it was gonna be like something really, really, I don't know. But yes, and then you like you said the steps and everything. It was just like, I mean,
The
this is
be- the bell on the door so that he knows.
and then how many other rooms were in there? Like how big was the house? It's like we seen that one room. Like I didn't even
that
see the
one.
beauty of the house. Like they just showed like that's what I'm saying. I'm not sure if it was staged, if they you know what I mean?
I
I
don't
don't
think it
know.
was. I
That's
think
what
that's what it was. I think the documentary wasn't about the house. It was about where they found
certain things that
certain
because that's what I was
things.
gonna say. I feel like that was the police footage
Hmm.
of where they came in there and remember how they said the stuff that the one boy was saying was there. Some of it was there, but then also that briefcase with the which to me was a little get pause for the cause. Let me just say it that way. So I found that I walked into the documentary feeling one way, and I feel like afterwards, I'm kind of in the middle on some things.
Absolutely.
So because I do wonder because there's questions of it to become the co-sleeping thing. I don't know that I've fully seen that clip. I mean, I've seen, they always had the articles about him being weird or whatever, not necessarily this type of the child thing, but just seeing those clips from it, I'm like, oh, that's why. That was a little whatever. And what I wish they would have went into more than in the documentary of kind of how these people came to be, right? So the boys that were around
Like,
him
how
was
did he
particular.
find them? Oh,
Yeah, like how did these relationships come about?
mm-hmm.
Right? Like, was there a contest? Was people just, you know what I'm saying? Like, what was it that was bringing all these people together? Because that family that was staying there particularly seems like, with their background of whatever and the other stuff that came out about them about this not being their first time of suing people. So, that kind of took away the credibility. So I
That was the little boy
understand.
that had cancer. That was
Yes.
They were in the
with Hayes.
hospitals.
Mhm.
That's where I feel like he was meeting them. They were vulnerable. He was going to the hospital, meeting up with the kids.
Oh, like, okay, saying, okay, these are the
Hmm.
kids that need help and different stuff like
Yeah,
that.
so that's
Because
what he was meeting
he
them.
was called, he was like, "I'll be your daddy." So he was or their provider. Basically, he was like, go ahead, Mitra, because I
Yeah,
got a lot
because
of questions
provider
there too.
I would
But
get, but some of the other stuff, it just,
it was,
and
it was
so
kind
let
of
me see
uncomfortable
how.
to watch.
Yeah, because I was like, how do you break this down? Because at first I was like, oh, I didn't want to because I thought it was going to be like an inflammatory one, but I do feel that they gave a balanced thing of the people who knew him and just did not feel like this was, capable of it. And
Hmm.
then the folks who, were whatever. So I do like how it was split out into there. It, overall, I will say, so I didn't fully also, or I wonder why the one lady, how when they had the trial, she kept on referring back to her notes of what was said. And so I'm like, well, why aren't we referring to the court transcript of stuff? So, because I mean, even if a thing with the cameras are closed, can't you still get transcripts of a trial?
I think that maybe she just, sometimes you just want your own, because those are all her own notes.
Yeah, no, and that's
So
what made it
maybe
look.
she just remembers it better when she's reading her notes, reading her own notes as and then in regards of a transcript.
Because, that's what makes me wonder of truth and whatever, too. Because in the documentary of why you just can't use what was in the court. Because a lot of her stuff, in particular, when she said the thing about the one family, like the mother being on stage, so let me say that. So let me say a few things then. The one things that put me on one side were why were you continuing to co-sleep with children after you'd been accused of something not so great? And then the line that she had written down in her thing where the mother was just like, "Oh, well, when he used to come to her apartment, which was a two-bedroom apartment, and stay the night, you're staying with the son." And then the thing
Oh,
of, well, if you love me or if you trust me or da 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 da, then it shouldn't matter if we sleep together, right? And then that one boy, the cancer boy, who actually said that too on the documentary, he was like, well, yeah, he said, well, well, if you love me, you'll sleep in the bed
right. And he
together.
said it right in front of Michael.
Yeah, exactly. So it started to give that persona, what people call their innuendo. No, 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 no. The way people get their pattern or the way that they, kind of go about things.
Hmm.
It did start giving that piece.
Hmm.
It didn't, I don't know if it gave me to the point where how I felt like with R. Kelly would have like, no, you did it. It didn't quite get me there, but it did raise some eyebrows into like, okay, why did you think these things were okay? Right.
That
And
part.
that's where it just whatever, because you're opening yourself up for a lot of these speculations. I get that he says a bed isn't sexual. However,
So sexual.
I don't, I mean, I understand what he's saying. Well,
Not
let me
when
ask that.
not
So, y'all
when
do
you're
you think a bed is sexual? Do you think that
no, I don't. I don't. But
No.
when you're a grown man and you got little boys in your bed and you've already been like my baby girl, she's 5'6". She does sleep with me sometimes, but I ain't You know what I'm
would you
saying?
let any of her friends sleep with you?
No. No, they don't, and they ain't going to. And if they fall asleep on my bed, then I take them to another bed and then get in my bed by myself. Um, Inappropriate. Period. Inappropriate. And especially if you begging for them to sleep with you, if you love me, you'll sleep with me. That's even
Yeah.
more inappropriate. Then they found in my question is, why were there books about little kids, little boys? First of all, why were there books made about that anyways? Let's talk about that.
You know, that's a thing. It's still a thing.
That's
But the book, why? But why are people so rarely able to make books about that?
right.
That's what I think she's saying. Like, what's the education? Because I thought you couldn't make, like, literally make and distribute it. Like, we couldn't do a book that had that in there and just distribute it, from
Nope.
what I understood or I thought. But maybe,
But
but
that's that black market stuff. They probably got, you know what I mean?
they
Like
know how to
they
get.
got access to certain things that, so that's what I'm thinking. But I don't know. I feel like people they have sites like that. So I think that they have that kind of stuff. Like when I be watching these forensic stuff, they have sites where predators and people meet and I feel like they just have access. So I don't know.
So, do you feel like this was predatory or glimpses into predatory stuff?
Yes, I do. And I
Yeah.
love Michael Jackson. I love everything about Michael Jackson as far as music wise and his talent. But
Mhm.
I think this was completely, even when he was alive, I was like, why are you having boys in your bed? Like, that's not okay. It'd be one thing if he had them over for Never Never Land and the families, and we all playing outside, and maybe the whole family, we all coming in, let's get something to eat, da da da. But after that, you go home. You had the little boy, what Jordan Chandler, that was the one who he didn't talk to his mom anymore.
Mhm.
He was like, I want to
Mm.
get in the bed.
That's the one who got the
How did he
settlement, right?
describe he said he was in the shower with this man and described his manhood. Ain't no way in the world that he would have known what it looked like if he hadn't seen it. The markings and all that stuff. Yes. Yes,
And
you even if you ain't do nothing to him, you showed it that inappropriate.
So, with that being the case, why do you think then he wouldn't have been found guilty on?
because
Because he's
he's
Michael
Michael
Jackson.
Jackson.
And not only that, I think
He's
that,
a black man still. Okay, but
yeah, but he was a little white. And I thought about that too. I thought about that too. But he still, what they say when he came in, everybody, even the jury was like, Michael Jackson. Oh my God, it's Michael Jackson.
Bobbing their head to the like they
Yeah.
didn't take anything seriously.
and the jurors did. She seemed like she was a little starstruck, even to this
I would
day.
be starstruck.
Starstruck.
I
And
wouldn't
so,
even have to been able to be because they ask you the questions. If you have any type of favoritism toward the artist? I would
Send
imagine,
me home.
right? I would have been imagine it would have been hard because who doesn't love Michael Jackson?
Right.
But
I mean,
like listen, and then the prosecution, they did catch that the family, the case was about that family who had sued some other people before, whose stories weren't coming together, whose mom seemed a little crazy. So I could see why he was found not guilty. Because
yeah,
according to that, but what he was being um
charged with.
charged
Shoot.
with, it didn't go. Now, if they was charging him with child, finding that stuff in his house, but he wasn't being charged for that.
Mhm.
Yeah, they be going for everything except for the stuff you could probably get because having that shown to a minor, which okay, while we saying that was also a little whatever. So at first when they had that, I was little thinking, okay, it had girls, so I was like, okay, well, you know what? Maybe then this is still like say kind of the witch huntish type thing. But then I started thinking about it, so I'm like, everybody can have their, what they like, as we said, preference, right?
Mhm.
But
No.
the barely legal white girl, that's also kind of a side eye, dude. Not even kind of, that's a side eye.
The assistant circling those child and he was like, "Oh, it was just a phase," and we were just into that. Like, I
And see, I
mean,
don't know if I believe him necessarily or not. I will say just because, like, why wouldn't that have them been in trial too? Because
I
he's
thought he
like, this,
did. No.
he's like the guy told him about it or gave it to him or something. And he ended up looking in it. So it never had an ending. Let me say that. So it never seemed like he told anybody else about that part other than like him telling this documentary part. So I
Because
don't
it
know.
was his
But
friend. He probably didn't want to until now
that's
he feel like he can do
yeah,
it.
that is yeah.
I don't know.
I'm with you, Meech. Like it, I hated that I watched it because I'm like, this
Because I used to
man.
think that they were just out to try to get him. I really did.
So you
Because
don't
I
think he
understand, yeah, people, because you know how them Inquirer magazines, they just was always on him, on him, on him, on him, on
right?
him about
But
something.
but at the same time, and I agree with that. That's Michael Jackson. But at the same time, first of all, I ain't paying off nobody if I know I ain't do nothing. You did something. You paid the people off. Okay, Michael, leave the boys, the kids alone. Learn from your lesson in
Right.
1993. Like, leave them alone.
Right.
That's the part that got, because I mean, I understand the settlement to a degree, right? Because at a certain level, as much as you have to pay for lawyers and then going through the trial, all of the different stuff, the settlement becomes the easier way to get out of it. So
It
even I
also
will give
look,
him
it's a
grace on
guilty
that.
way.
Say it
It
again.
look guilty though.
Yeah, it does when it comes back to light, but just think about it. I don't know, or at least I don't recall knowing about that settlement when it happened, right?
I
Like
didn't either.
that's what I'm saying. So it keeps it out of the news, right? And had he not had that documentary where now you're talking about, you still sleeping with boys and blah 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 blah. Now you giving it feet to crawl to bring back up.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's where, because like I said, I get the settlement thing. Because, like I said, you see how it makes it go away. What I don't get with him and other people who have had multiple settlements, right?
Hmm.
Consider that first settlement so grace. Why? Oh, why? Oh, why? Would
That,
you do this again?
that was it was like, some people it was a disease. And I think
Yeah.
a lot of it had to do with like he didn't have no childhood because he been doing music since he was like 5. And so, I mean, what grown man or person has a Neverland has you know what I'm saying, in their yard?
Well, the Neverland was cool. That's why I said I get
I
the
mean, it was
Neverland.
cool,
That's
but
I
don't
cool.
nobody
don't.
got that for real.
I get it. It had
That
the
ain't
animals
nobody
and
thinking like that. I like going to the fair, but I ain't about to put one in my yard, even if I got Oprah money. I'm not about to do that.
well at that level you can't really go out and do that. So this is your way of being able to enjoy it whenever you want. And like you
Mitra,
said, I already just felt
Mitra,
like
you letting your child go to Neverland?
um
Exactly. Lulu, you let
Hell,
your
don't
child
even ask
go to
me.
Neverland.
No, and I'm not going either because I will feel weird. I don't like certain shit anyway, but that's just me.
I would have
That just
went
look
had before I knew all of
creepy.
this, before I knew this information, I would have went, but I would have
See, I
stayed. Like it
wanted
ain't gonna
even
be no
before.
separation type thing. However, yeah, knowing it,
If he had rented out some land, or area and did a fair for a week, I would have went with everybody else. But why does a grown man have a fair at his front yard? A
I
fair
think he
is,
was doing it more for the kids, the kids with the cancer. Like it seemed like he was trying to give them a childhood because he missed out on his.
and I get
So,
that.
hmm
and
Yeah, I'm
he
sorry.
said
Go
he
ahead,
also
Lulu.
got on those rides on his own. So I feel like that was his way of also being able to control his day. Like if I want to go out and have rides, I can. I don't have to worry about this and that. And then he had animals on the property. It was like this was his idea of a dreamland. Because that was the Peter Pan. He called his
Hmm.
dreamland Neverland. So
hmm
he's calling his dream space Neverland. Now, would that be my dream space? No, but would I, have went and visited then? Yes. But I just
Would you
the thing
visit
of
a
what you
man
said is
nowadays
once
with
you
the?
have the kids come over, why are they still like they seem like they was your entourage? Like, why are they
Yeah,
traveling? You know what I'm saying? Like, cause then
yeah.
and that seemed like the pictures with them and
Oh,
stuff
the
be like
But
pictures
where
from
are the
there.
parents? I felt the same thing about R. Kelly shit. Why would a parent leave? I don't care if it was I don't care who the fuck you are. I don't care if you was the president. I'm not gonna leave my child with anybody You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, that is, the parents are weird. It's not outside of him being how he is. They're fucked up because why the fuck would you leave your child? Why would you let your child sleep in a bed with a man, whether he was touching them or not? Why the
Right.
fuck would
Right.
you do that?
Right.
That's the messed up part. So the parents are the fucked up ones for real. To me,
I
Absolutely.
agree.
I
Yeah.
mean, whatever he had going on, we don't know because I don't be knowing. People paint different. It was weird anyway, but it's like, yeah, but why me as a parent? Why would I let somebody sleep in the bed with my child?
And that's what they said. They sold their child out.
That's
Yeah,
probably why
that's
the one person that
weird.
was talking. Because now I will say maybe the other kid, but they had no he's sleeping somewhere. So the ones when they were sleeping there that didn't live there, right? When the kids were going to whatever, they may not have known their kids were sleeping in the bed. I'll say that.
But
However,
I'm not letting my kids stay there
I mean
night
I
that
know
night.
that's what I'm
grown
saying.
man house.
You should have still been in the house to know but the one that's just stood out to me the worst was the lady with the 2 bedroom apartment.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because for one, why is he staying there?
right. You got Michael, and I don't. Shit, they ain't say
And
nothing about that little boy being sick or nothing. So I don't know where he met him at. But ultimately, this is the part that we're all like, why are you allowing Michael's begging you, if you love me, you'll let me sleep with your son tonight. What?
And they
Excuse
don't think
me?
that's all.
that's what I'm like. That's the part. Yeah, thank you, Ruff, for getting back on track. That's where I was going. I was like, I was like, oh man, I can't defend that because that sounds so manipulative as well. Because here's the thing. So let's just say you did have to stay at my house for whatever reason. You can have the bed, and me and my son can sleep in a bed together.
Yep.
And I'm assuming that must have been what she was going to do because why would you specifically go to her and say, "Oh, we're family. You don't trust me."
That's crazy.
Why
And
you don't want to sleep with me? Why you want to sleep with my son? That's all I'm saying.
that's why
I
I
was,
think that he didn't have a child. I think mentally Michael
yeah.
was not developed all the because like he didn't have no childhood.
But there are
I
other
think he
people
still
who
thought he
don't
was a
either.
child.
I can't give you that whatever because as you start growing up in life, right? Because as we're saying here, and it's crazy because we have to take the person away from it. If I were to take the person away from it, and now listening to what we're saying and talking again, starts to sound like grooming,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah,
so those
right.
things those are intentional behaviors. Because I get what you're saying in terms of a traumatized, and maybe that's why you hoard. Okay. So you got the trauma from having a child. So you didn't have all those things. So you didn't have the things as a child. So that's why you have the yard that's fair. That's
Mhm.
why you have all of these things. So that to me would explain what you're saying. I didn't have a childhood. So now I'm rebuilding my childhood with my home and it being my, space. But continuing, because
Yeah,
look at how many boys we were confusing up here.
yeah.
But I
To
think that he had the same experiences though.
You
I do
think?
too.
Yeah.
I do too. I would not
Abuse,
be surprised.
molestation. I think that those things happened to him. If he was doing that. Cause it's always a pattern. He was to me, it seemed like he was a little off. But I mean, like I said, they paint people
How
out to be
they
a certain way, whatever. So you never know. It's always whatever. But I just feel like it had to have happened to him. Him being so young in the industry and not being as normalized, being expressed openly.
Right.
So they
Mhm.
talk about him not having a childhood. It might not just be working. It might just be everything because a
Mhm.
lot of those stars were taken advantage of. So
Mhm.
he probably thought that shit was okay. And
Yep.
families, one thing about families period, but especially wealthy ones, they will hide your secret. They know what's up. They know everything that went down.
Yeah.
And they hide it and they will keep that brand, that reputation. They will do that. Like I said, I don't want to accuse nothing. I don't want that to be his story or paint him out in that light. I don't know what
Right.
happened.
I don't
But
either,
to
but
me,
he got a
it's
lot of
weird.
flags.
Yeah,
It
it was
is weird,
weird. And,
man.
and the parents to me are always the ones that just be making me mad more than anything. Because why your kids even in this situation to me?
Yeah.
So
I agree.
I mean, I think he did love kids though, and I get what
I
you're
don't
saying, Lou,
care.
but I'm always gonna be, it's gonna be the person. Because even
Yeah.
if, you know what I'm saying, is whatever, you as the adult are still the responsible person in the situation. Because I have to say, people was using that for the R. Kelly excuse. I was like, nah. While
It's
the parents,
weird.
yeah, it is weird. The parents might have some whatever, but R. Kelly, you were actively seeking to bring girls and separate them from their families. So no, sir. The parents might have, been gullible, naive, whatever you want to call it, but R. Kelly, you at the end of the day have the utmost and full accountability for it. So
I think
yeah.
no, go ahead. I'm sorry, Meech.
I was like, I mean, I guess with his kids, him having kids, I was going to ask a question, but I was like, well, I guess since Michael had kids, he stopped doing that though, too, having them other kids around as
No,
much.
he
So
was
never
still
mind.
doing that.
Was it?
Yeah, he had the kids and he was still doing that.
Okay, my.
Y'all think them are his kids?
Anyway, so I think that it don't matter how much happens to your skin that makes it a different color, that your genetics, it's still gonna be
What it is.
what it
Now,
is.
now, do y'all
And them
think he?
kids ain't got no black in them.
Yeah,
I feel like
how
she
does he
stole
have
her
the smoothest?
kids.
How does he have the smoothest vitiligo ever?
I don't know.
He's rich, so maybe he just.
Right.
I'm just scared because I'm talking about how it normally comes in patches. It normally comes like, how do you just?
Just
Okay,
peel, just
yeah. And then at one point in there, did he not try to say he don't have surgery? That's just people talking.
I don't know if he said that because clearly that nose ain't his. We know what Michael Jackson nose look like.
And he do too. So like, what was that? But no,
It
because
was something off. It was something.
yeah, then he had
He
the pictures.
was
He had pictures. Did y'all notice he had pictures of him in his light skin self? But I don't think there was no pictures on the
no,
wall of
those
his
are
dark
his.
skin self.
I don't think he was. And now the movie, we don't know. All we can go off
We
is,
didn't see all the
is
rooms,
the
all the
movie,
rooms that the people should have been staying in. We didn't see all of them.
right?
But
But as far as like the movies of his biography or whatever, he didn't
Mhm,
like the skin he was in. He definitely didn't like his nose. So because he lightened up quick.
mhm. It's
He would, and
rutabaga
I'm
or
not
something
saying
now.
it could have been, whatever, but I think, it wouldn't surprise me if he was bleaching his skin. I don't think he liked
Yeah.
the skin he was in.
But I don't think he necessarily. I think that they fucked him up and he made him not like himself.
Right.
I really
mhm.
do think
That's
that
fair.
he went through some things as a child star, which made him want to change, forget it in his mind. Because you see
Mhm.
that trauma responsible people are taking advantage of
Mhm.
their minds. It's not that like they try to forget it, and
Yeah.
he tried to forget who he was before. So that's what I kind of felt like, but
Mhm.
I don't know.
And he's overcompensating. So now you're trying to
Hmm.
overcompensate to show how good you are to these kids who are sick and
Yeah,
good to this, good to that, all of that type of stuff. But and maybe he just had an innate thing to be a father because he didn't have a good father. I don't
yeah.
know,
It
Because
could be
because
I think he
anything.
genuinely wanted to help. He really wanted to help people. Like I honestly believe, and he knew who he was. Like I'm Michael
Yeah.
Jackson, and I'm the type of I when I get to that status, I want to help people, not in the other type ways, but like if I can help pay a bill or a hospital bill, you got cancer, like yeah, I would love to do that. I would love to be able to help somebody like that. So I think he genuinely did. I think it just went too far if the accusations are true.
yeah. So I would say rounding that out. I don't know if guilty or not, but he got found out guilty, so it is what it is. But I'm gonna go back to your word. There were definitely some inappropriate things
Hmm.
exposed there. So I thought that that was a good documentary in terms of balancing that out. Like I said, there are some people who said this would never happen, and I do think that they were able to present a point of view through some stories because I do think some people were just jumping on the bandwagon, but there were also some inappropriate things that in hindsight I would hope that he would also see that you should not have done it.
Ugh, I just don't want that to be a thing.
I don't
I
either. That's
I
what
know,
just
me and
don't
right?
want
Mika
it
was
to
saying.
be a
It's
thing.
such a
I just
sensitive
don't.
subject. It's Michael
Yeah, it
Jackson.
is.
Yeah, I just don't. I don't like it with anybody, but definitely not Michael. Like I don't want to
Yeah.
Yeah.
even
But
paint
what is
that out.
is
You
it kind of a
know?
wealthy person thing too? Because when I
I don't
started
think it's
thinking
a wealthy.
about
He's just Michael Jackson. Like he. He's the
Well, it seemed
greatest.
like it kind of normalized it because, of having the materials and people
Yeah,
have seen it, and it didn't seem like it was a secret that he had it necessarily. So it was like,
right.
uh,
Well, what the
yeah.
well, they live with him. They probably signed NDA. They just it's certain things like let's say, I mean, we have a little more leadway, but like let's say you're not a citizen, you're getting paid under the table, and you working at his mansion. You think you gonna say something about if that's all you got? That's your livelihood. Like I feel like people target vulnerable people on purpose too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't want to say that because as we were
Yeah, I
This
feel
going
like
part
those
I'm
along,
not gonna
workers
put
looked a
anything.
little, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, but
because how did you, again, when we were going back to how did you meet these people?
yeah, like kids with cancer, no dads, like people, predators target those type of people, period.
Mitra, let me ask you something, because I
Uh-huh.
know you are quick to dismiss, like you don't listen to any R. Kelly anymore. You say you stopped listening to Elvis. So let me ask. No, it's a
Yeah,
like
that
you
was a
don't.
tough one. That was a really tough
So
one.
Michael Jackson.
That's why I said I'm digesting it. I don't know how I feel. Because like I said, for the other people, I feel like the difference was it was hardcore guilt, right? Like R. Kelly, you had videos. You married a teenager. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no denying it. Elvis, even though whatever, he
Yeah.
married a teenager. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? I feel like that just takes away how we were debating. There's no debate. So at like we said, what we have proof of right now is that he was inappropriate, right?
Hmm.
Like, did he touch them a certain way? We don't know yet. I don't. That's the part that's still whatever. But I definitely think he was inappropriate.
Hmm.
Period.
Yeah.
Just don't have that smoking gun to say you also touch them because that's basically what everybody has. Not to downplay it, because I forget what the guy with the boy with the shower thing, boy with the shower thing was, but we don't know whether the touching occurred. The other people,
Why are you in the shower anyway? That's what's
that
crazy.
is way
But
too. But see, that's the
so
thing too.
really, he
That
was battling his sexuality and predatory shit
yeah.
because
Now here
he
goes
didn't want. Because why you didn't just be with a man?
And if the shower thing, I probably go back and look at too, because I'm far like if they find out that that one's whatever, that might send me over to like it was
He
still
said he
a,
described his thing.
but they didn't. But the police said they didn't say it was an exact match because if they would have, they would have taken Michael in custody. Then you notice they came over and did all that, but they didn't take him into custody.
They
Yeah.
said the spots that he said was there were there.
So here goes the thing from that, and that's why I said I would have liked them to use some of the court cases because the person who said that though wasn't like, or was it? Was it an official person or was it just somebody?
Hmm.
Because see, some of the people that they had doing there were like, you know how that one girl, she's a journalist of the something, and she been following the cases. The lady was, and then there was a white
Oh, I
guy who
get what
was
you're
a,
saying.
you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Yeah, because to me, then that would be negligence on the police thing. It doesn't matter about a settlement. If this child has made
Right.
this thing, you officers are coming to take pictures and it is an exact match and you don't take him.
Right. That should. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's where to me I don't feel like it matched up. Not to say whatever, but I think it was still stuff. Here's the thing. The stuff in the bed, all of the other stuff was still enough to make you settle out of court for it. So I don't know if the
Right.
shower
Right.
thing occurred, but
Mhm.
if he did describe it exactly, then his mama should also sue the police department as well.
You're right. For not. For yeah.
That's why I said, and that's what I would come away from a lot of the documentaries feeling because it's like, okay, some of this stuff can't be what y'all saying because this just would have been what because even his staff, like the ones that did come together, y'all like Lou, how you said these people need to be hit in the head for real, like a ton of bricks. So you saying you saw all this stuff occur
Hmm.
and didn't think to try to stop it or intervene or nothing?
Right. So which questions did it happen?
There you go. And then for it to come, because it's like people are going to come out the woodworks when they see the money or think that there can be a money train potentially.
I hate, I hate that. Like it's so
Yeah.
hard. You don't know the truth from the lie because
That's the
people have
thing.
their
Yeah.
intentions.
Hmm. And I might be just whatever come Michael. So y'all call me to the carpet if I say something differently as this goes on. But like I said, for his right now, while I could lean one way, I wouldn't. That's why I understand how a jury wouldn't find him. How about this? If I were on the jury, I would have to find him not guilty as well. Even though
Lulu,
I
would you have
definitely still
found
feel
them
like he
not
was inappropriate.
I
guilty?
don't know. I don't know what if I was in court and seen all the evidence. It depends. I would have to see the expressions and how the kids were. I'm very empathic, so I feel like I would be able to kind of. I just don't know. It's still he say she say.
That's what's like I wouldn't want to sue
Um,
somebody for that.
but if I was in court, I probably would have been able to feel it, if depending on like how those kids testified and how they were looking. I mean, I don't know. I don't. Yeah, I think it depends.
What about you, Ro? Guilty, not guilty? You on the
It would
jury?
depend on it would depend on what he's being charged with. Because if it's not adding up or there's not, stone cold proof of that, it's more of a he say, she say. Like when he showed him the magazine, he was like, "You sure it was this magazine?" And it couldn't have been the
Oh,
magazine. So it was like,
that is right. So was
yeah.
that the magazine?
If it's cases like that, if the charges is like that, then it's not guilty because you couldn't
yeah.
prove.
Oh, so do you think they kind of planted that? I totally missed that. Do you think they planted?
Absolutely. They say he's a
Yeah.
lawyer. Yeah, they knew what they was
But
doing.
when you've been going through stuff, I don't know. I guess I could just speak for myself. I be forgetting certain shit.
I agree with that too.
So
But
the
that's
lawyer was good though. But
right. That's what I'm saying. He could have
yeah.
definitely
Oh
showed them
yeah.
something
If he
similar
was
to
guilty, it
that.
wouldn't matter. He was getting off because of that lawyer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He could have showed him a magazine that maybe had been similar to it that had a female, you know what I'm saying? But the kid, it was years
Yeah, I'm a
ago, so he
kid and
probably
I
didn't
was
know
fucking
exactly. Yeah. So,
molested like by fucking Michael. My mind is all over the fucking place. I don't fucking know. And I'm standing in front of everybody admitting it. It's
right.
just too much.
It's a
He's
lot.
in the room.
It's a lot.
I don't know. It could have went either way. I
But
just
when
only
they
God knows
say,
shit. Only yeah, he knows shit, and the kids know for real. I don't know.
right.
It's just sad, but the moms know, and I'm really mad at them. I'm so mad at the parents. They failed their kids. I want them to feel it if they ever watch this video. You failed your kid. I'm judging. Shame on
You
you.
was letting
As
it be
well as
known.
I don't give a fuck. You leaving your kid with a fucking stranger. You leave your kid alone. I don't like stuff like that. That is just anything can happen. I don't trust none of that shit. Cousin, uncle, friend. I don't trust none of that shit. I don't care.
Definitely not the uncle. I don't know why, but
It should
No,
not
you know
definitely not.
what?
Dog. I don't trust that shit. It's just crazy.
This was a very hard one, y'all. Let us know how you feel. Make sure you leave a comment, share, like the video, and we got more to come for you. So let's get down to ratings. Lulu, I see
0.
you.
I don't like this type of shit.
You give it a 0?
Yeah, it makes me
I don't
uncomfortable.
have 0 on my rate wheel that I do.
It's 0 through 10. I don't like stuff like this. I do love Michael Jackson. I don't like seeing stuff like this, whether it's the kids, him. I just don't like the way it make me feel. I don't recommend watching it. I just don't like it. A
And I'm gonna
0.
have to. I'm not gonna give it a 0, but I piggyback. I don't like the way it painted. It made me feel like you said. Even gosh, I don't
We
like.
don't know, but I don't like it.
Right. And I guess what I don't like is some of the things is like that could have possibly been true. And I don't want to think of Michael like that.
Mhm.
But at the same time, I'm thinking like I wouldn't have my kids around Michael.
Mhm.
And that's just the honesty of it. But he's, you think about just who he is and just his legend, but you also have to see him as a person before all of that. So this was a very, very hard watch, and I don't recommend nobody to watch it if they love Michael as much as, and I don't know nobody who don't love Michael. I've never met anybody who does not love Michael Jackson. Even the kids these young folks, they know who Michael Jackson is. They know Michael Jackson over Whitney Houston.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna give it a 1. I don't recommend it to watch, and I don't like the way it made me feel. Mitra,
I completely understand where y'all are going at with that. However, I do think, and I do like I said, that there was balance in it, where I initially was feeling one kind of way, but I did get the uncomfortable feeling after a while too. But I think that's the kind of thing of getting information versus them just going around interviewing people and getting people's thoughts, right? Being able to actually see and get the fact things is what I liked about that, and explained a good bit in terms of why he was, wearing whatever to the court, da da da. So I think the downside is the timing, because the Michael
because this
Jackson
movie
thing is
came
in
out. Yeah,
theaters. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I don't like the timing of this because that does give malicious intent to it. But
absolutely.
overall, I'm gonna say with that, then I'll give it a 7 out of 10 because it did invoke that feeling of maybe this, maybe that. Versus in some of them I felt like, oh, that's just a smear, like
Mm-hmm.
I can easily dismiss that. This I think did give a little more balance, although I will wonder why y'all didn't use the, more of the courtroom transcripts and things. But otherwise, like I said, it did give that. Your time is suspect though.
How does that make you feel about Michael now?
I am still digesting that, to be honest. The upside of it is, and I don't, with the way music works, you don't hear it unless you purposely go out there and find it, right? So, I mean, I see clips of when he was in Jackson 5 that really makes me feel whatever, but I don't see, I guess, him as much as I with before this in like news feeds and different stuff like that. So I say that to say it doesn't give me time to think about it, like, ooh, type situation. Lou?
Chris Rock said, I
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't let Michael Jackson watch my kids on TV. I, it was in a movie.
That's disrespectful.
That is so messed
But
up.
It was
I
in a
But it's
movie.
mean,
but it sounds like real yo thing of him changed because if you saying you wouldn't want your kids around him.
I
Not
wouldn't
not alone,
either.
not alone. It I would have to be like it'll be let's go to this theme park with a bunch of other families, and when I leave, you leaving with me.
Okay,
And I
so
don't
And
have no kids, but I wouldn't have no kids around none of these people, honestly. I barely want them around people I know anyway. I don't be liking that kind of stuff. So, no.
and you don't want to feel that. Do you all think it would have been different if he was alive to speak for himself?
No, it would be even more messy.
I don't know. I don't know. I think there would be so many topics for him to hit. It'd be interesting. I would like to see how his response is, but I think that these people still would have come forward in this information because now it's got me want to see a different one just to compare and contrast. Like, is this? Did I put my head under a rock? Like I wasn't listening to the facts stuff before because everything just sounded so crazy. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
This was a hard watch, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was.
You don't ever want to hear that about, even if he wasn't a celebrity, let's just say he was just like a huge influence just in your life personally or something. You don't want to hear that about people. I heard a lot of people say, I would never want to meet my biggest
Oh,
celebrity because I don't want to get a bad impression of them just in case, they're buttholes or something like that.
I still want to
that's
meet
what
them. I
this
want to
documentary
know.
did. That's what this what they did. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
just don't like like them being bitches is one thing, but you being a predator,
is a whole nother,
that's
yeah,
totally different. It's like meeting your favorite celebrity and they're serial killers. Like it's just too much. It's too
yeah.
heavy. Like meeting somebody and they're just like bitchy to you because that's just how people can be. That's like, okay, whatever. This is different.
It, it
Yeah, this is illegal.
Yeah, this is just too much.
that
Yeah,
part.
this is
That part.
different.
illegal, and like we're okay with in some aspects, but this is good. Like you said, it's not weird anymore. It's inappropriate. At
Hmm.
the very minimum, it's inappropriate. At a maximum, it's illegal.
And illegal as fuck. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So
And the parents should go
he's
to
on one
jail.
of those scales. I just don't know which
Yep.
one. He definitely on one of them though, because
Yeah,
even if he,
they got him on trial. They should have threw the mom in jail for testifying and saying what the fuck she did. Let her son sleep in the bed. How the fuck she admitted to a crime right there? I let
And they said what, hundreds of times or 30 some times or
Yeah,
something
I
like
let a
that?
man that's being accused on this trial right now to sleep with my son.
do
That's
you
neglect. She should have been cuffed and thrown under the jail right
do
then
you
and there.
think if
I
it
don't
was a colored
understand
person,
this.
because that could have been considered sex trafficking, right?
Okay,
Mhm.
for diamonds. That's what I'm saying. See, we breezing by what really is going on here. That mom went on stand and said and admitted what she did to her son, and is still walking around here. Oh, she's guilty, but she can't speak to her son. She needs to be in jail.
I
She
agree.
needs to be locked up. I don't understand why these moms aren't in jail.
No.
All right,
Yeah.
y'all. So, if y'all a fan of Michael like we are, then
Then don't watch.
go watch it.
Don't fucking
But
watch
if you're
it.
interested in just, seeing the case and the lawyers and what was being charged and all that stuff, then check it out. Um, whew, that was a hard one. Netflix, Michael Jackson, The Verdict. Check it out, y'all. Um, we'll be back for another one. Until next time, thank y'all for watching. Peace out.